Isolation of casein from milk. Apparatus required: 100 ml beakers, 2 hot plate, thermometer, stirring rod, spatula, 125 ml Erlenmeyer flask. The chemicals required are 5 grams of powdered non-fat dry milk, 10% acetic acid approximately 2 ml, 0.75 grams calcium carbonate, 10 ml of a mixture of 1:1 ethyl ether and ethanol. Principle: the main principle behind this is we precipitate casein from milk. Now what is casein? The casein, the main protein in milk, is a phosphoprotein, meaning that phosphate groups are attached to the hydroxyl groups of some of the amino acid side chains. Casein exists in milk as the calcium salt, calcium caseinate. It is actually a mixture of at least 3 similar proteins which differ primarily in molecular weight and the amount of phosphorus groups they contain. Alpha and beta casein have molecular weights in the 25,000 range and possess about 9 and 4 to 5 phosphate groups per molecule respectively. They are both insoluble in water. Kappa casein has a molecular weight of about 8,000 and possess 1 to 2 phosphate groups per molecule. It is responsible for solubilizing the other 2 caseins in water by promoting the formation of micelles. Calcium caseinate has an isoelectric point of pH 4.6. Therefore, it is insoluble in solutions of pH less than 4.6. The pH of milk is about 6.6. Therefore, casein has a negative charge at this pH and is solubilized as a salt. If acid is added to milk, the negative charges on the outer surface of the casein micelles are neutralized, that is by the protonation of the phosphate groups, and the neutral protein precipitates with the calcium ions remaining in solution, as we can see in the reaction. Here you can see in the reaction that calcium caseinate, here it is reacting with acid, that means the protons are reacting with it and replacing the calcium ion, that we can see it here. Now, a natural example of this process occurs when milk sours. That is what we say that दूध जब फट जाता है, that is what we call souring of the milk, and it takes place naturally also. Now, how does it take place naturally? The souring of milk is an intricate process started by the action of microorganisms on the principal carbohydrate in milk, that is lactose. The microorganisms hydrolyze the lactose into glucose and galactose. Once galactose has been formed, lactobacilli, a strain of bacteria present in milk, convert it to the sour tasting lactic acid. That is, there lactic acid is formed. Now, since the production of the lactic acid also lowers the pH of the milk clots when it sours due to the precipitation of casein, and which is mainly what we can say that the paneer which is formed out of it. Now, let us see the structure. The structure where you can see here is, this is the molecular formula, and here you can see that there is alpha amino group present here at the corner. So, alpha NH2 groups is there, amino acid is there. Another that we can see is because we have a peptide bond where you can see everywhere, because it's in the it's a protein, it contains amino acids, so there's a peptide bond you can see at many places. Now, so this is the structure with this molecular formula, and now we come to the procedure that how we are going to perform the experiment. Now, firstly I will be telling you with the help of the dry milk, and later with the help of the milk which we daily use, like cow's milk or even the dairy milk, which you can find out that what amount of casein is present in different sources of milk. Now, the procedure, we weigh out 5 grams of powdered non-fat dry milk and dissolve it in 20 ml of warm water in a 100 ml beaker. We bring the temperature of the solution to 55 degrees Celsius. We should not exceed this temperature. Then remove the thermometer and then add dropwise a solution of 10% acetic acid while stirring with a stirring rod. Do not add the acid too rapidly. It should be done dropwise. Continue the acid addition slightly less than 2 ml will be required here, and keeping the beaker on the hot plate until the liquid changes from milky to almost clear and the casein no longer separates. It is important not to add too much acid because it may hydrolyze some of the lactose in the milk and reduce its yield further. Stir the precipitated casein until it forms a large amorphous mass, and then remove it with a stirring rod or tongs and place it in another beaker. Immediately add 0.75 grams calcium carbonate to the original beaker containing the remaining liquid. Stir for a few minutes and save the resulting mixture for the later separation of lactose. The separation of lactose should be done as soon as possible, just after performing this experiment, and because that is going to result into a good yield. Collect the casein by suction filtration to remove as much water as possible. Press the solid with a spatula. Place the casein in a 100 ml beaker and add 5 ml of mixture of 1:1 ratio of ethyl ether and ethanol. And here we should keep caution that there should be no flame because it is highly flammable. Stir the casein in the ether for a few minutes. Decant the ether and repeat the process with a second 5 ml portion of the ether. After the second washing with ether, suction filters the product. The ether washings remove any small quantities of fat that may have precipitated with the casein. Now place the casein between several layers of paper towels to help dry the product and let it stand in the air for 10 to 15 minutes. Divide the wet product in half. Weigh the two portions. Place one portion in flask and with 35 ml of water and 0.5 ml of 1 m NaOH. Stopper the mixture and shake it to ensure solution of as much of the casein as possible, which can be saved to use for the chemical test, that is the confirmation test of the casein. And when dry, we can weigh this portion and calculate the total yield of casein from the powdered milk. Now we should go with the confirmatory test that the product or the precipitate which we have got, it is casein, it is a protein and it contains amino acids. Now the first experiment or the first test which we perform is the Biuret test. It is also known as Piotrowski test, and it is a chemical test used for detecting the presence of peptide bonds. The procedure which we use here is, we take an aqueous sample and we treat it with an equal volume of 1% strong base, either it is sodium or potassium hydroxide, followed by a few drops of aqueous copper sulfate. If the solution turns purple or violet, it contains protein. Here we can see the reaction. You can see in this case that the blue is copper sulfate is blue in color, and it gets it reacts with the peptide bond here, and the complexation takes place, and a violet complex is formed. So when a protein reacts with copper sulfate, which is blue in color, the positive test is the formation of violet colored complex. So it is one confirmation by Biuret test. Second test is Nin-Hydrin test. The Nin-Hydrin test is a test for amino acids and proteins with a free NH2 group. Now we can see in the reaction, as we have seen in the structure, as we can see in this case, that there is a free amino group here. NH2 group is there, that we can see it here. So this contains a free amino group, and now this free amino group is that we can say it's going to give the test. In the case of this Nin-Hydrin test, we can see we have just taken a simple molecule. It is not that protein molecule, but it is a simple amino group that we can see the reaction. The Nin-Hydrin reacts with it and we get a purple blue complex. The Nin-Hydrin test is a test for amino acids and proteins with a free NH2 group. It should be made clear. So when such an NH2 group reacts with Nin-Hydrin, a purple blue complex is formed. The Nin-Hydrin test detects the presence of alpha amino acids and proteins containing free amino groups. So now this is all about the experiment performed with the help of that powdered milk, and so the result which we should give, it should be that because it's a white colored precipitate which we get, so the white colored precipitate, and the yield can be given in percentage also, that the amount which we have taken, we can calculate the percentage of the yield formed. Now the same experiment can also be performed with the help of the dairy milk or the cow's milk which we use at home, and the only difference here is that we take that milk and then we dilute it. So and the same procedure is used. So here I am repeating the procedure only, but only the thing is that the starting what we are taking is milk. So we measure 50 ml of the milk by graduated cylinder and put it in a 100 ml beaker. We heat the solution to 55 degrees Celsius. We maintain this temperature and then we add, we prepare about, we already have the acetic acid solution, and then we add it stirring. We get the casein, and then we add ethyl ether and ethanol, and we get the solidified casein here. So again the same thing, that what we get is we get white precipitate which is casein. The only thing is we have to find out, we have to do the conformity test in this case too. Actually in the case of cow's milk there is about 3.5% of casein present. This is the theoretical value, and we can calculate ours and get the results.